Today is question day, and the question that's come in is, what are each of your services that you offer? And I'm going to explain to you what they are. Starting off, we have a process called Timeline Reset. Timeline Reset works on old, stuck, toxic emotions. They weren't always toxic. However, when they're stuck in our body for such a long time, they do become toxic. They create a loop in our head, and that energy is what we're creating our future with. So if you go through and have a look at your old, stuck, toxic beliefs, you might not even be able to go through and have a look because they're stuck in the unconscious mind. Timeline Reset cuts to the chase, gets to it straight away. There is profound changes that take place, and this is being used all around the world. The next thing I do is Personal Freedom Protocol. That's an 8-session process. Timeline Reset is a 4-session process. So Personal Freedom Protocol also includes Timeline Reset, and it's expanded on that. And I've got some notes here that I want to read. So Personal Freedom Protocol not only includes releasing, dissolving and resolving old, stuck, toxic emotions, beliefs and behaviors, we're also working on taking responsibility over being a victim, and that can be really triggering. So there is an educational process around that so that we can retrain our unconscious mind. There's also hypnotherapy in Personal Freedom Protocol. In Timeline Reset, there's only trance, no hypno. So Personal Freedom Protocol has trance and hypnotherapy. We also go into forgiveness. What is that? How do we achieve that? Because I know in the past, learning how to forgive would trigger me so much because there were people who I could not forgive. Well, I've done a lot of study over many years, and I have to say, Personal Freedom Protocol has been one of the only things to help me to understand truly and deeply how to forgive myself, and then over time, how to extend that to others or situations. We also go into healing modalities. There's 13 different healing modalities, and your soul is actually going to let us know through muscle testing, and I use a pendulum as well, on which ones are required for you in the now moment for the best healing possible for you. So they range from angel healings, energy healing, crystal healing, dissolving cords, family curses, karmic curses, and responsibilities, all of that kind of stuff. There's so much in there. There's also, towards the end of the 8 sessions, we go into strategy for how you can continue to live your life with all of this new learning, and in what scenarios can you put all of this in place. So this isn't just 8 weeks and bang, you're done. This is continual learning for you on how to take responsibility for your life moving forward to create a life worth living and a life that you love. I mean, isn't that valuable? Wouldn't you like to know how and what steps to take? Well, these 2 processes do that, Timeline Reset and Personal Freedom Protocol. The other thing that I do and I love with a passion is reconnective healing. Now, I've been doing reconnective healing since 2014. It's been around for like 30-something or more years. It's a no-touch energy, light and information. I work with people, places and animals. And one of the most important things is that animals have changed. It's not animals' job to take on our hurts and our burdens and our pain anymore. They've evolved, and it's now up to us to help them to release all of that pain that they're holding in their body and that burden that they've been carrying so that we can have an easier life. It's our job now to take responsibility for our life and stop handing it off to others. And it's now animals' time to be free, to be just that, to be animals. Working with horses, Horses know how to communicate with humans. However, humans don't know how to receive or respond to that. Reconnective healing creates a very solid bridge so that the horses can communicate and the owners can receive that communication. So if an animal needs a vet, or there's a particular thing on their body that they need, or there's a particular past life story, I have experienced that, we are able to release that, and horses release it so fast. It's amazing work. The other thing I do is spiritual past life, code activation, and remembrance. That goes into visiting our past lives through a hypnosis process so that you can bring back codes and the essence of things that made you strong and successful in your past lives that can now be used in this timeline. And I also have an understanding that all timelines are existing at exactly the same time. So it's like peeking through a window at what is working for you elsewhere and bringing it back into this timeline to help it work for you now. Sometimes that involves understanding the moment of your death in past lives and what was the essence in the learning of that experience in hindsight. How often have we said, in hindsight, I know better. Well, what is it? Spiritual past life, code activation and remembrance is a peek at hindsight, the power of that, and bringing it into the now. The other thing I do is a little bit different, is I'm actually a qualified and trained personal care assistant and support worker for NDIS participants and private participants who aren't even on the NDIS. So if you've had to go to hospital, you've had an operation, you might have a broken bone, broken back, you just can't do the things that you normally could do in your life, like the simplicity of taking a shower. If you've ever had an operation, a torn shoulder or a broken leg, you'll know how difficult it is to be able to have a bath, a shower, or even just get your washing done, make your bed, organise a meal for yourself. I can help you do that. I'm qualified. I'm trained to do that. So if you would like to also know, as a participant on the NDIS, how you can access all these other services I do, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation and I'll share with you how I can help you. My name's Nicole and I'm from Nicole Rhodes Energy Healthcare. I am open for business. I work over Zoom. I can come to your home if you're local. I'm in Mornington, Australia. And I can also do this over the phone and via distance. So reach out. I'm open for business. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.